Hi, everybody. This is Art Wallman. Welcome to some of the highlights of my life. I sure hope you enjoy them. Now, pull up a plank and draw in tight. We've got some viewing to do.
Well, hang on to a rock, gang, 'cause here it comes, Art Wallman Country.
It's 1 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon in Swift Current, and Art Wallman and his Tractor Line show are back on air for another day.
Welcome once again to the big show this afternoon as we say hello from coast to coast and border to border and then some.
At the Grasslands Cafeteria in Swift Current's government office building, the radio's tuned to the program as it is every afternoon. For some people, like cafeteria manager Marie Coltart, there's just no one like Art Wallman.
Yeah, some sort of a legend, I would say, in country and western, definitely.
Well, I'm going to go as far as to predict big things for that group. That's an all-girl band known as Wild Rose right there, breaking new ground. And I think, Mona, we might as well lay our Tractor Line lines wide open here right now in case there's somebody out there that might like to give us a call.
Art Wallman is an entertainer and what some people may consider an institution. For nearly 30 years, he's hosted the Tractor Line show on radio station CKSW in Swift Current. Off the air, he's made his mark as a musician and singer, having his own band for 25 years. Through it all, there's been one constant, a love for country music. For Wallman, it's more than music, it's a philosophy of life.
No one knows what goes on behind closed doors. People just don't want that glitz and glamour. They want somebody with a whiskey throat like Willie Nelson, who's not a singer. He got no voice, but he communicates in a song. And then the same with George Jones. It's like getting a coyote trapped in a trap somewhere, and when he howls, boy, your teeth hurt. Huh? That's the way he sings. Exactly. It sends shivers all through you because he's bearing his emotions. He's laying his guts right on the table.
Tractor Line is a mixture of music and talk. Just about everything goes in this program. This in an age when many radio stations rely on computers and sophisticated market research to develop programming.
I'll tell you, I'm feeling extra good here today, Mona. Tell you what I'm going to do. The first caller in on the Tractor Line this afternoon will get one of my tapes called Cadillac Country. Absolutely free. The first caller in, you got it absolutely free.
Almost instantly, Wallman gets a call.
And the Tractor Line lit up. Hello there.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Just fine, thank you.
Are you enjoying today?
I sure am.
Is this what you call your Indian summer?
I hope so.
Wallman was born with spastic paralysis, which has restricted his mobility. He does his show in a wheelchair with the help of Mona Sorin, who operates the controls. Wallman acknowledges there was a time when he refused to be seen in public in a wheelchair, choosing to use crutches instead. He still uses his crutches. What has changed is his attitude.
I think the fact that I'm well known, for instance, has helped a lot of other handicapped people. And that TV show called Ironside, he did the whole thing in a wheelchair, which popularized a wheelchair in a great sense. And I think the more things are done like that, the more acceptable handicapped people will be. Sentimental old you. We'll go along here.
Kathy Mattea?
Kathy Mattea, yes, 18 wheels and a dozen roses. That'd be good.
Wallman admits he almost called it quits from radio 2 years ago. His condition had worsened, further limiting his mobility. Wallman had gone so far as to investigate moving into a special care home. But now, at age 61, his life is turned around. He married a Swift Current woman last summer. She's a person he acknowledges he couldn't do without. Despite that, Art Wallman says success in life starts from within.
Now, I've never been a down type person. I've always seen the brighter side of everything. It takes a lot to defeat my attitude toward anything. But you just have to look on you can't look on the negative side of anything. You have to go for what it is you've got and go for it.
On 97 Bourbon Street, it's #1 West, starring Brian Sklar and the Prairie Fire Band. Tonight's special guests, Benta Lynn and Art Wallman. Pleasure broadcasting legends, CKSW's favorite personality, Art Wallman.
You make my eyes run over all the time. You're happy when I'm out of my mind. You don't love me, but you won't let me be. Don't you ever get tired of hurting me. You must think that I look back with a smile, for you haven't let me wear one in such a long, long while. Still I keep running back. Why must this be? Don't you ever get tired of hurting me? All right. Someone must have hurt you long ago. But why take revenge on one who loved you so? It's wrong to break a heart that loves so free. Don't you ever get tired of hurting me. You must think I look back with a smile, for you haven't let me wear one in such a long, long while. Still I keep running back. Why must this be? Don't you ever get tired of hurting me? Don't you ever get tired of hurting me? Thank you, thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for making me feel so welcome here on Number One West. My good friend Brian Sklar in Prairie Fire. No band in the world like him. Here's one called Crazy Arms. How blue ain't the world for the way that I feel. A storm is brewing in this heart of mine. This ain't no crazy dream, I know that it's real. You're someone else's love now, you're not mine. Crazy arms that reach to hold somebody new. For my yearning heart keeps saying you're not mine. My troubled mind goes to another, you beware. And that's why I'm lonely all the time. treasure dreams I have for you and me. Take all the love I thought was mine. Someday my crazy arms may hold somebody new, but now I'm so lonely all the time. Crazy arms that reach to hold somebody new, for my yearning heart keeps saying you're not mine. And I tell those mine of soon through another you'll be well, and that's why I'm lonely all the time. Yes, that's why I'm lonely all the time. Thank you. Thank you.
It was the wheat-growing province of Saskatchewan, and my next stop, a town called Swift Current. It was 6 in the morning in Swift Current. Not many people about, except some Hutterites, members of a religious farming community whose principles obviously include getting an early start. The prairie's isolation from the outside world seems to have helped them preserve their way of life. Maybe it's the same isolation that makes radio so popular out here.
Slip right through my hand.
Art Wallman is the king of prairie radio.
Oh, it's a great job. You know, you hear the kind of music you like and you sing along and...
From his wheelchair, Art runs Saskatchewan's most popular radio show. It's called The Tractor Line, because many of his regular callers are listening in their tractors.
Calendar coming up, and Buck Owens is going to be our star on that one. Right now, though, let's go to the tractor line and see what we got. Hello there.
Yes, how are you doing today?
By golly, if it isn't Aubrey Putnam. How in the world are you doing, Aubrey?
Well, we're doing all right here, you know.
You and Aggie, right?
Well, Aggie said to phone you up. She's out on the tractor right now doing a little fall tilling, you know.
All right.
She's got her radio on, and you're coming in pretty good in her tractor there.
Well, that's good.
Anyway, she's going to be coming in pretty soon. She's got to get the turkeys in before dark, or they start roosting.
By the highway, Canada's shrine of country music, the Hall of Fame. Gordy Tapp's overalls from Hee Haw, Orville Prophet's glitter suit, and who better to show you around than Swift Current DJ, Art Wallman.
Old Webb Pierce, the wandering boy. Webb said you have to sing through your nose and wear cowboy clothes. He said that's the way to get her done.
W5 with...
It's time to visit the shrine. At last, the fabled jewel of country music, the Hall of Fame. And Art Wallman was the man to take me through it.
Now it's a business. It's
yeah, that's
right. You know,
right.
they really treat it like a business, too, because there's big bucks in it. And
big bucks, but worth every cent. They sure knew how to make these guitars cry, especially the steel guitar.
You can't have country music without a steel guitar.
And dressed to impress. Here it was, country music's shroud of Turin, the very same overalls Gordy Tapp wore on Hee Haw. Only this music could have given us songs like A Boy Named Sue and Here's a Quarter, Call Someone Who Cares.
It's real. It's a real thing, and everybody, you take a look at Garth Brooks standing there, You know, as people think, well, if he can do it, anybody can do it. Like, he's just an ordinary guy, and he's got to be a superstar of superstars. No training, no nothing. Orville, he's another guy. Old Orville, he had this great long cord on his microphone, and he'd actually visit the lavatory while he was singing.
What?
He could hear him flushing her down, and he never missed a beat. Old Webb Pierce, the Wandering Boy, Decca's hit maker. The Webb said you have to sing through your nose and wear cowboy clothes. He said that's the way to get her done.
Here we are, here we go, down the highway, down the road. Hello, neighbor, hello, friend. Here we are on the road again.
And we celebrate the career of Southern Saskatchewan's radio legend.
Here it comes, Art Wallman Country.
Stories of the people across the land. Here we are on the road again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our program. I'm just going out to do a little work on the tractor, and I thought I'd bring along the radio to keep me company. Farm work sometimes can be a little lonely, and it's nice to have another voice along for the ride. Well, in southern Saskatchewan, where the farms are a lot bigger than mine, there's one voice that is as welcome and familiar as the prairie breeze. Southwest Saskatchewan, where the wind never tires. It flows across the flatlands like an ocean current. The grain hisses as it bends and twists in its wake. It's a familiar sound on the prairies.
Well, hang on to a rock, gang, 'cause here it comes, Art Wallman Country.
But there's another familiar sound, the Art Wallman Show.
I gold in the hot morning sun, that's the way it goes.
She took all out of that poor boy, could you burn, left me to die like talking on the run.
If you live near Swift Current and love country music, Art's show is #1.
Well, a cracking good one to lead off the action this afternoon, and done up by Canada's own, the Good Brothers. And
like the wind, Art's voice rolls out across the prairies from station CKSW.
And hello from the bubble machine, and let's everybody pull up a plank and dry in real tight once again. We've got some picking to do.
Art's been on the air for 32 years. To his listeners, he's more than a country DJ. He's an inspiration.
I've got to give the guy a world of credit for what he has done.
We think he's just the greatest fellow in the district, except for circumstances and one thing and another.
You know, I guess he got a lot of guts.
Open sesame.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you?
Every morning, Art arrives for work with a hand from his wife, Marlene. He was born with spastic paralysis. He's never had the use of his legs. Now, his arms are going too. Some people would consider that a handicap, but not Art.
I guess it's just a mental attitude, I think, is what handicaps is about. I think if you think of yourself as not being handicapped, I think that probably you are.
This one, isn't it?
Well, that's the one.
Yep.
I like that Richard Bouchard album, Marlene, you know the one. Wake up, don't just lie there like cold granite stone.
That's a good one.
In the record library, Marlene helps Art pick out the music for his show.
Do you want me to get some albums now?
Yeah, maybe you can just drift over here and pick out a few of those.
They've been married for 3 years and living in harmony ever since.
Making believe I'll never own you. It's a great love we have for each other. It's just fantastic. It's the best relationship you could ever think of.
And so blue, but I'll always
always dream. It's not every lady that could cope with a situation like I can't dress myself, I can't go to bed, can't put on my own shoes, can't comb my hair, can't do any of those things. And she does it all with such loving care, she doesn't even think of me as being handicapped.
What else can I do? There we go. There we go.
I think it's because of his positive attitude that he's come along the way he has. Nothing is a big enough challenge for him. He'll just do whatever he wants to do, put his mind to it and do it. That's how he got me. Oh, what's your song at the bottom of the hour?
The other woman in Art's life is Mona. She's been his operator for 10 years. Their show is on the air weekday afternoons. It's a mix of down-home music and down-to-earth conversation.
We're going to the tractor line now and see what we got there. Hello?
Yeah, Art, I'm calling you from out my tractor here, just getting lined up to do a little bit of bale. And
Farmers often call in with news of the harvest.
Things are looking really good.
Hello, Art.
How you doing, Ethel?
Just real good.
Right.
Other people call in just to have a chat.
Oh, that's wonderful. How are the new eyes doing? Are the eyes working?
Oh, wonderful.
Working good?
I can see everything.
All the good-looking men, you can see them too?
So, yeah, that's it. Maybe I can see too good now.
All right, Ethel.
Bye-bye.
And y'all us again. Bye-bye. Maybe I'll get you to give me a Goldie Oldie here.
Okay.
The number one focal point of my life is the program that I do. It never, ever dawned on me that someday I would be in radio, but it always fired my imagination.
Art's written a book about his lifelong passion for radio. It's called A Good Day to Be Alive. It tells how he was raised on a farm during the Depression. He was the second youngest of 10 children. The family was poor. Home was this 10 by 12-foot shack.
I went back to see it a few years ago, and I had to cry a little bit. The marks on the floor where my dad was chopping wood for the fire in the morning, and the bullet holes in the roof where we used to shoot flies off the roof. It was all there, and the memories came flooding back and everything. But we had good times in this place, too. You know, we'd sit by the coal oil lamp there around that old tin sheet heater and play that guitar with 2 strings, and seems to be a good time to me.
Now blue ain't the word for the way that I feel.
At age 20, good fortune came Art's way. He joined a country and western band called Johnny Mann's Radio Rangers. They toured the West and performed on radio 3 times a week. Young Art was the lead singer.
Someone else's love now.
Kind of unbelievable, actually. Laying in the back of the Johnny Mance's 52 Meteor, or whatever it was, and turning on the radio, and there I was. That's kind of a strange feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then, in 1960, he signed on with CKSW as a DJ.
On Southwest Radio, it's Art Wallman Country.
Today, in Southwest Saskatchewan, Art Wallman is a household name.
I thought life was a ball right from the beginning, and I just went for whatever I wanted to go for, and I've had a better life than just about anybody I could think of. Well, Justin, Tom, and Roger Miller put that one together, and I love it. And what do you think, Mona? Did we knock a few of them off the back porch, face down into a slough this afternoon?
I think you did, Art.
Well, we want to thank everybody for calling us on the tractor line. We had a wonderful time there.
Now in his 70s, Art has been thinking a lot about retiring.
Well, that's about all the time we got then for the afternoon. And
when he does, radio will lose a legend. And that prairie wind is going to sound just a little bit lonelier.
Your Honor, I present to you for investiture with the Saskatchewan Order of Merit, a highly regarded entertainer and broadcaster, an exponent of true popular wisdom, a symbol of triumph over disability. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Swift Current, Art Wallman.
Big show lined up, and you're probably going to be a little bit confused as to what day it is, but I've been told it's a Wednesday, so that means we're going to have our mystery singer coming by later on this afternoon, and we just might find a few giveaways. We're going to do the Bonanza movie trivia. We're going to give them away a meal from that one, along with all the other goodies. So once again, everybody pull up a plank and draw in tight, because we've got some picking to do.
A normal working day, and the ever-popular tractor line, Art Wallman's CKSW radio show, is on the air. In its 30th year, the tractor line continues to enjoy a large, faithful audience.
Hello there, and how are you? Not too bad. Well, that's good, that's good. Are you on the farm by any chance?
In high demand for on-location broadcasts, Art bounces between the CKSW sound booth and numerous public appearances in Swift Current. CKSW knew a good thing when they saw it. Born in July of 1928, Art lost his mother at a very early age, leaving him to battle the crippling disease, spastic paralysis, alone.
My dad didn't see any point in me going to school because as he put it in a rather blunt way, he said, you'll just fall into a slough and drown anyway.
Poor and crippled, Art was forced to crawl until the age of 9, when the Shriners found out about the neglected boy in the shack.
Well, when I grew up on that farm that I write about in my book, was a pretty desolate place, and I guess some of the neighbors saw the way I was crawling around, and I was getting older. I was 8 years old, I guess, still crawling, and some of them had heard about Shriners and got in contact with someone that was a Shriner, and they took it from there. They searched me out and said, well, this is the kind of thing we do. We send these crippled kids to this hospital in Winnipeg, and would you go?
Through the dedication of the Shriners, Art eventually graduated to crutches.
I was 7 years old at the time, and at the time they deemed I was too young to undergo all this surgery, so they sent me back for 1 year. Then I went in when I was just about 8 years old, I guess. And they started the surgery then. And they just kept right on doing it. And I think it must have been at least 14 or 15 operations I went through before they could straighten my legs out so I could walk on crutches and all.
When Art was 22 years old, he left the farm and entered a special school in Regina. Having taught himself to read using comic books, he progressed well until the school abruptly closed.
When the school was dissolved, I was totally on my own. I was a bum, that's what I was. There was no place you could go for any help. And these two friends that I mentioned in the book there, they would take turns taking me out to eat.
Lacking money but rich in friends and talent, Art became a serious musician with the Radio Rangers Band. Art's first attempt to break into broadcasting was a dismal failure. Hired for his rich voice tones, the job ended after one short day when the manager of a Regina radio station fired him after discovering that Art was disabled.
This was very new to these people, and I talked to him on the phone, and he had heard the audition, and he said he was impressed, and he said, you're hired. But he didn't know that I was on crutches. And when he saw me on crutches, he changed his mind abruptly because he was wondering how I'd climb stairs and how I'd get around, how I'd carry records and all, and then he decided he'd made a mistake. That was quite a blow to me, but that's how it came about. Like, handicapped people in the workplace was quite rare in those days. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they didn't deal with it. They wouldn't give a person a chance, really, I think.
In 1957, Art left the band and moved to Swift Current to take a job as a dispatcher with Star Taxi. Long nights led to solid friendships with midnight DJs, and they finally convinced him to try again. He made and submitted a demo tape. This time, attitudes were different. Although there was a long flight of stairs to the broadcast booth, the 1960 CKSW manager said, I don't care if you crawl up here, so long as you do the job. Not content to limit himself to radio broadcasting, Art formed a band and traveled the southwest corner of Saskatchewan, entertaining and gaining new friends for the tractor line.
This ain't no crazy dream, I know that it's real. You're someone else's love.
With the encouragement of his many friends, Art slowly began the long process of setting his memories, experiences, and his joy of living into a book.
Who would say, those stories, why don't you write them down? So I kept on doing this for a number of years. Like I said, I'd put it away for sometimes a year and many months, some to get it out. Well, I'll write a few more here. And then with my silver anniversary, 25 years in radio coming up, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a book at that same time? So then I really got after it, and I worked at it for maybe a year. All handwritten. I wrote it out in great, big, thick scribblers. And I don't think it would have been published to this day if we hadn't got a real nice lady by the name of Renee Lepp working for us. She was a minister's wife. She heard about it, and she could type. And she brought a typewriter up here. She said, this is my job. I am going to see that you get this book published. Wouldn't take anything for it. She hammered away at that thing, and she was laughing and hammering away. Some of this might not be fit stuff for a minister's wife, but she just roared laughing at it.
A Good Day to Be Alive emphasizes Art's personal philosophies. He doesn't let his problems get in his way. Although he has faced daunting odds and heartbreaking reversals, he remains optimistic and always ready to laugh. Continuing his singing career, Art recorded the album Art Wallman Country CKSW in 1982. Commemorating 25 years of dedicated service to an excellent employer, CKSW staff joined with Art in celebrating his silver years in broadcasting. Honored by the Prairie Country Music Association, Art received the Heritage Award in 1989, ranking him with country music's best. However, continuing physical deterioration was causing problems, and his future was beginning to dim.
Oh, and I can recall a few not that long ago that when the world just seemed to come to an end. And I had no idea how I was going to fill 5.5 hours in, be optimistic, be cheerful. I'm working for somebody, I'm getting paid well for it, and yet I'm dying inside. Because the old home is waiting for me next week, you know. When I was getting ready, I had my room picked out and everything. My career was over. It was finished.
On July 12, 1989, Art Wallman made one of the most important commitments of his life when he married Marlene Abel. She is my love, my legs, my life, says the man with the voice. With renewed strength, Art continued to work and contribute to the community of Swift
Before
Current.
we check things out, a reminder, National Access and Awareness Week is coming up June the 10th to the 16th. You might bear that in mind. And now the all-important long-range forecast coming up for the Pioneer Credit Union.
Recognized for many achievements throughout his 30 years with CKSW, a further and much greater honor was bestowed on November 2nd, 1989, when Art Wallman was invested with the Saskatchewan Order of Merit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Premier, Mr. Speaker, Ministers of the Crown, Leader of the Opposition, Chief Justice, members of the Legislative Assembly, Senators, ladies and gentlemen, I am instructed by Her Honor the Lieutenant Governor to present to Her Honor 5 citizens of this province for investiture with the Saskatchewan Order of Merit. This order is the province's highest honor. It was confirmed in 1988 by the Provincial Emblems and Honours Act as an official honor of the Crown in right of Saskatchewan. The order is conferred by the Lieutenant Governor through letters patent, sealed with the Great Seal of the province of Saskatchewan. I shall now read these letters patent to you. Canada, Province of Saskatchewan. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom, Canada, and her other realms and territories, Queen, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith. Arthur Lawrence Wallman. You are the sole architect of your destiny. The game of life must be played out even though there appear to be no trumps in the deck. These sage observations come from A Good Day to Be Alive, the autobiography of an extraordinary individual called Arthur Wallman. It is the story of a courageous man who overcame tremendous odds to rise to the top of the country music world. A man who crawled on all fours until the age of 9, had no formal education until the age of 20, acquired his extensive vocabulary from listening to a battery radio, and learned to read from comic strips. Art Wallman emerged from the most abject rural poverty and surmounted a devastating physical handicap to teach himself music, establish his own band, rebound from unemployment, dispatch taxis in swift current, and then become one of the province's best known and most loved radio personalities. His homespun eloquence is a trademark of his skill in communicating with people. His sense of humor, professionalism, and talent have made his Swift Current radio show one of the most popular in the province. He is widely respected as a community fundraiser, salesman, musician, comedian, and philosopher. Art Wallman is above all an inspiration to those who face daunting odds and heartbreaking reversals. His ingrained optimism in the teeth of adversity, his relentless struggle with his disability, his determination to live life to its fullest, have made Mr. Wallman a living tribute to the resilience of the human spirit. Your Honor, I present to you for investiture with the Saskatchewan Order of Merit a highly regarded entertainer and broadcaster, an exponent of true popular wisdom, a symbol of triumph over disability, Arthur Wallman. And now, may I call on our Premier to be the first to offer congratulations to the new members of the Saskatchewan Order of Merit. Please welcome the Honorable Grant Devine.
Mr. Romano, Chief Justice McPherson, members of the clergy, members of the legislature, senators, ladies and gentlemen, and special guests. This evening is always more emotional than the last time we were together. It is a great privilege for me as Premier to congratulate the 1989 recipients of the Saskatchewan Order of Merit. Art Wallman is the man of the tractor line, the voice of Swift Current. And what a voice! A singer, a broadcaster, a recording artist. Art is a versatile fellow any way you look at it. And he's done all of this in spite of a handicap which might have crushed the faint heart.
Art had become one of the province's best known and most loved radio personalities. He is given to his city, his province, and his country as a fundraiser, salesman, musician, comedian, and philosopher.
One of the big things in my life, I've never felt handicapped, and that was, I could see a person walking down the street with a limp or maybe a prosthesis of some kind, artificial limb or arm, and I felt immediately real compassion. Boy, what a way to go through life. And then I would think, well, maybe you're worse off than they are. But I've never, ever felt handicapped. And an interesting thing happened to me once. We were entertaining in the Saskatchewan Hotel in Regina, and this lady, as a matter of fact, she had a son that was in the movies, and every time she'd come to Swift Current, her mother lived, or to Regina, pardon me, her mother lived there, and she'd call me in to entertain. I'd play my guitar, and a whole bunch of people around, and she's laying on the big bed there, and so I had to get up to go to the bathroom, and the door was kind of ajar. It was around the corner, and one of the guys said, "Wow, is that man ever handicapped?" And she up and said, "Handicapped?" She said, "Compared to him, we're the ones who are handicapped." And you know, that stuck with me all through my life. She said, "He's not handicapped at all." So I heard that, and I thought, what a great thing for her to say.
Success is something that we all search for throughout our lives. Determination, courage, and dedication to the task separate the winners from the general stream. More often than not, real winners emerge.
Let's see you. There's Reg of Lucky Lake. Good to see you here, Reg. Also, Gary Offit from Big River. He's the grader operator, calls in on the mobile telephone. There he is, right in the back. Gary's here, met Art Wallman for the first time. Kind of a nice deal. Fred and Mary Peel of Loreburn. Where are you? Fred and Mary Peel. Hey, all right, over there. Ed and Ellen Holden of Beachy. Where are you folks? Right down front here. There they are. Ed and Ellen. Cy Tweeden at the back. Cy, would you please stand up with the weather rock there? Okay. Here's Cy Tweeden, regular on the tractor line. Also would like to recognize some personal friends of Art and Mona right now from the Moccasin Flats. That's Ernie and Eileen Donald of Wadena. Ernie and Eileen, right over there. Malcolm and Adele Donald of Cranbrook, BC. Stand up. Let the folks see you. Right there. And Marvin and Willa Mae Donald of Weyburn. All over there. Edna and Loring Peel of Shaunavon, CJSN. Where are they? All righty. Might have left already. All righty, right now I'd like to introduce Garth Materi. He's our news director at CKSW and farm director. He has some presentations and some acknowledgments he wants to pass along to you. Garth?
There's quite a number of them here, so I'm going to kind of edit them as I go. The first one is interesting in that you can miss your fisheries minister sending 1 million or so cans of fish. And you can miss your most trusted lieutenant in Quebec spending just a few too many bucks. But you don't miss Art Wallman's 25th. So, says the Prime Minister. I'll read you the better part of it. Quality radio programming is very much an integral part of the life and character of the community it serves. And I know that your cheerful and knowledgeable style has become an old friend to the people of Swift Current during these past 25 years. I wish you all the best in the years to come, and I trust that today's celebration will be a time of happy reminiscence upon a long and most successful career. Over the signature of the Right Honorable Brian Mulroney. None of the politicians missed it. His Worship, the Prime Minister, the Premier, 25 years of service and dedication in the challenging world of radio is a proud accomplishment. Knowing that you have contributed directly to the welfare of citizens in your community through your work gives you an additional reason to be especially proud. The citizens of Swift Current have great respect and admiration for your personal accomplishments in the face of significant odds, your selfless contributions to your community, and the many hours of enjoyment you've provided through your work. To be held in such esteem by the people you have worked to serve is without a doubt one of the most worthwhile tributes you can receive. It's from the Premier Grant Devine. Good. Pat Smith knows Art a little better, and you can tell by her letter. You've been a fundraiser, a salesman, a friend, an entertainer, a comedian, a philosopher, and a listener, and on and on. But for a few hours a day for 25 years, you have lifted our spirits. You well deserve the recognition of the entire Southwest, ships at sea, and whoever else has been knocked off the back porch. Let it always be said of Art Wallman and the Tractor Line, always a good show and oft times a great one. Jeff Wilson sent a letter with the usual congratulations, but he found a quote from George Bernard Shaw that we'll end this with. People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, they make them. Thank you.
That's Fort Worth ever. That's Fort Worth ever. That's Fort Worth ever. Touch your mind. That's one hell of a crew. I want to introduce my boys before we say goodnight for the last time here. You can save your applause until the end. Larry Oakman has been with me for, about 25 years. He's the guy in the drums. You'll stand up a moment, Larry, so they can all get a look at you. Maybe he is standing up. I don't know. Al Piero, my bass player, is to my far left here. That's Al Piero right there, one of my prized possessions of the ambassadors. George McPhee from Prince Edward Island, over here to my right. And Mr. Cedric Cunningham, who's with me for about 8 years. He's no longer with me now, but he was a great asset to the ambassadors. And the last, but by no means least, the reincarnation of Hank Williams. That's Jim Wilkie sitting right there on that steel guitar. All right. Let's go out. Let's go out. And play the glory of the things must end. Like to hear a story. Let's go out like we did in the lake of glory. All right. Now the end is near, so I'll face the final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, for which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each
in every highway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exception. I planned each chartered course, each careful step along the byway. But more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yeah, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up or spit it out. And did it my way. I've lived, I've laughed, I've cried, had my fill, my share of losing. Now the tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. Oh, it's a man, what has he got, if not himself?